Question. I know I went super fast because I knew we're kind of behind schedule and stuff, but are there any questions?
Okay, Jason, great talk as always. Thanks.
Thank you.
For studios doing work for hire as well as gaming, let's say you're generating revenues, profits as a work for hire studio, then you're doing a couple of games. Where does it fit in the equation? Is it discarded from an investor standpoint because it's another business or?
Yeah, that's a really good question. And what I would say is if you're doing work for hire and original IP, kind of, making revenue to fund your own, that's viable from a project financing point of view. And in cases like banks, they'll be happy to know you have a steady income from the work for hire. In the case of a publisher, they don't care about anything else other than how cool is that game and how much money are we going to make on that game. So pitching publishers or CMF is still viable on a project-by-project basis for the ones that you own the IP. Of course, work for hire, they're not going to get behind. So for project financing, in most cases, that's fine and a good thing. As equity investors, I would see your work for hire as a waste of time. Right, because work for hire generally is a low margin business. At best, you're making 5, 10, 20%. That's fine as a business, but that's not interesting in terms of creating a hockey stick opportunity. So if you come to me and say, I've got this work for hire business, it pays the bill, and I've got this amazing new Ninja and Robots game, and I'm like, oh wow, Ninjas is the future. I'd say stop doing all that stuff to distract you. Here's the $1 million you need. And I believe in the company, now pump out those Ninja games and forget about everything else. So usually, as equity investor, I want to take the risk on the thing that could be the next big thing, and I really don't care if you're paying the bills month to month, because that's what my money is there to do. That might be sort of overgeneralized, but I would tend to sort of place it in those two camps. Yes, sir.
For things like mobile games, it's easier, I guess, for them to take off and get to a point where the more money you throw at it, the more money it generates. Because it's easy to calculate, this is my cost of acquisition per user, this is how much they make per user. In games like PC games or console games, in most cases, there's more of a plateau. So someone who's a bigger investor, it's like, here, put $1 million, $2 million. At best, they're probably making double, 3 times, maybe 4 times. But they're not making 10 or 20 like you're not making. How does that affect how investors look at these kind of games?
So that's why in most cases we see a lot of the VC money, like the venture equity style money, going towards companies being mobile, whereas almost all the premium side of things is publisher and or project level finance. Right, because a publisher or CMF or said, okay, that's cool, I like Ninjas, you're putting in $1 million, we can probably make $5 million on Steam, all right, that's a good bet. But 1 to 5 is not a good bet as an equity investor, so they want to see, I want you to do the next Candy Crush, the next Clash of Clans. So if you're doing premium stuff, you have to think about the company and what's the longer term roadmap and vision of the company, and how can I generate a hockey stick for the company if I'm doing premium games? And that's not an easy question to answer. Some people will say, well, it's about the characters of the brands that I'm building, and over time, those characters, then I'll sort of spawn them into other forms of entertainment and merchandising, a bit like Angry Birds at the beginning, because Angry Birds at the beginning was premium, not free to play. Or for example, stuff we're looking at now is much more on the multiplayer side. Whether it's premium or freemium, that's debatable. Because if it's multiplayer or multiplayer that hooks in with Twitch,